we go. Just let's knock it right there.
Wow.
I don't know if they're doing it in transcripts or anything like that.
So that whole intro I just did with all the other things and everything that ran through the intro with me and you, I ran through the intro through all the sponsors. I forgot to unmute my mic in OBS. It's literally a blank screen.
So when they said I couldn't hear Patrick, maybe it was like on your stream.
Oh,
too,
yeah. Maybe they were watching my stream and they couldn't hear me. They were just literally looking at a blank screen because my camera's through the Zoom right now, so I don't even have a camera feed to show them. Anyways, the joys
You'll
of
get
life.
it one of these weeks.
Right? We'll get it. We'll get it soon. God, it was a good one too.
I think the same thing happened last week too.
It was either that.
There's something like that happened with your mic last week with your sponsor reads.
Oh. We're gonna get there. It's gonna take a few months, but we'll get there. That's what happens when you add new sponsors. Like the whole flow changes. I got to learn the whole elevator pitch and whole nine, trying to get them all in there.
Yeah, that's a big one. Anytime I would run to a different place for a while, it was always there's a little bit of a different procedure. Even though most of the stuff is the same, it's like putting the keys in a different spot. Somebody else happens to pull in a car for you or whatever, and then next thing you know, somebody's driving off with keys, or you forgot something. You left your sprayer, your toolbox, this, that. Yeah.
Oh, it's the worst. It's the worst. That's why I'm always about systems and processes, and everyone needs to be on the same page. Big shout out to Daniel Reyna, by the way, for the $5 super chat. Definitely appreciate it, my brother. Appreciate it.
I didn't get one.
Oh, I'm sure he'll be in there soon. He always is. He always is.
That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing I've been doing a little bit. So the guy I normally work with, he just took the week off, and which is kind of nice, right? Because the bosses were talking about, we're not getting a lot of cars. We got 2 tinters. We're both on salary. We're not getting a lot of cars in, blah, blah, blah. So I mean, hell, they even talked about shutting down the auto department and just strictly doing flat. And I'm like, so, and I've never heard them talk about that, but I mean, it's crazy times right now.
Crazy times.
So he's taking the week off or whatever, and ironically we're busy because we started doing Facebook advertising with flat and focusing on flat, and I've just been diving into Facebook target marketing and stuff like that, trying to figure it out, and we've been getting some really good returns and getting people to call, and I feel like we got more cars coming in than we typically do, so it's got to be working a little bit. Nice. So oh
there it is.
There it is.
Oh, that was loud. Oh, where's my... Oh, that's a bummer.
What happened?
I don't know if the audio did. I don't know if the audio went on that one. I think I know what the issue is. Dana Reyna, thank you for the super chat. I will try and fix this. So
you can replay it.
Yeah, I think I have to adjust my audio before.
Oh yeah, but you're off in Restream land. So I gotta, because I go through OBS Live. Does it still show you the activity feed on the right?
It still works through OBS. The problem is when I open OBS and then I change my audio source. Hang on, we gotta apply that, and then we gotta go to a different site. So what have you learned about Facebook?
A lot of different things. I've learned about. I was trying to figure initially.
That one worked.
What?
Thank you. Oh shit, I missed the name. Michael, thank you for getting Glass Aid.
There you go, Michael.
That one went off. I'm gonna get the other one though. Okay, go ahead.
The initial one, I did put a video together, a quick 30-second video, like a B-roll sequence of Marty, the guy I'm working with, my coworker, tinting a window.
Oh, I saw that actually.
And it turned out pretty well. It looked pretty good. Which is probably one of the best B-roll sequences I've ever shot in my life, because I'm not that guy, and I've been trying to get to be that guy, but I just haven't really nailed it yet. But anyways, long story short, so I knew that Facebook video, I wanted it to post up in people's news feeds. So I know video was one of the most popular ones. I know everyone takes pictures or does memes or stuff like that, but video I researched was the most popular and most effective. So I originally just posted that and then boosted that post with some specifications. I did a 12-mile radius around where the brick and mortar shop is, and then I focused on top 10 to 25% in income for financially, which it brought it down to like 37,000, which was my like audience sample, I guess, like the audience size that I was targeting, which is fine until I found out that the better size is a 500,000. So I'm like, at first we did it where it was like a 37,000 sample rate, and we were getting messages. We were getting 1 to 2 to 3 messages a day, people asking, inquiring, and again, these are people that are making decent money, that live close by, essentially.
Right.
So then after I did some deep diving and learned a little bit more about Facebook marketing and things like that, I did find out that a good sample rate was around 500,000 to 1 million. That's what I was told. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, well, what happens if it's less than that? What if you live in a city that has 100,000? Then what I researched and found out is that that's okay. Then if it's only 100,000, then you use 100,000. That's it. So we went from 37,000 to 250,000, 250,000. And once I did 250,000, Jesus Christ, I mean, these fucking messages won't stop. Like,
really?
They won't stop. Like, they're now, it's just everyone, we're getting like 10 a day now of like people, because during the advertising, in the ad, I specifically wrote, to book your next appointment, call the phone number. But the call to action, I couldn't set up a phone number for some reason, because it just wouldn't allow me to do so. And it's probably because I was user error. I didn't know how to do it at the time. And so people are messaging. So words to the wise, if you're going to do whatever call to action, if you want them to call, set that up, because whatever that button is set for, they're going to do that. But it's going well so far.
Daniel Reyna, thank you so much for the $5 super chat.
Daniel Reyna.
The car noises are working now.
Korean Tinter, what's going on, baby?
Some people are saying that it was working before too, so hopefully that went off. But that's awesome. I'm going to have to copy that then.
Absolutely. There is one thing I did learn. So on the Facebook, you can set it up, and I have to do this. I got to show you what I learned here. But you can do converge. I forget what it is. Converges, and you're converging, obviously, right?
Okay.
But it's a way that you can set up on your website, and I checked it out through Wix. It literally takes 30 seconds to set it up. But you can go through Ads Manager and set up what's called a Pixel ID. And what that'll do is you can set that up in your website, so that when you set up a ad campaign, let's say to drive people to your website to generate leads, because it was the two options was either purchase a product or generate leads. Well, I don't have any products to purchase, so because I'm a service. So it's generate leads, and that's what we're doing. So apparently, if you set up your website, so people go to your website, this Pixel ID will start basically collecting all kinds of information and analytics, so that you can better figure out like who's targeting, age ranges, demographics, all different things like that nature. So very, very interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. It's it's just one of those things that I haven't messed around with. And I mean, I'm sure you learn a lot just by screwing around and asking questions, just like most things. So
yeah, I mean, it's me and you are very similar. Once we find something and we're into something, we do start we deep dive into it real like when we did when we were figuring out how to get the wireless GoPros up through what did we set up?
That was nonstop research. Daniel Reyna, thank you again for the $3 super chat. Really appreciate that.
Hey.
Dude, yeah, my stream alerts are really fucking loud now.
Are they? I can't hear it. I can't hear it.
Yeah, so. That's funny. You'll see on the stream. So I have this problem with researching topics to absolute death. Whenever I want to do anything. So this whole GoPro RTMP thing, I couldn't find a single person that has actually done it, but I did end up finding a tutorial of a guy that did it with his phone, and then I just kept going and figuring things out, followed that tutorial to at least set up the main system for it, and then figured out what I had to do to get the GoPro to work with it. And it was nuts, but I didn't know anything about RTMP. I didn't really know much about GoPro. I didn't really know much of, I didn't know anything about an Amazon server, let alone all the, you know, a whole lot about, you know, even OBS at the time. I was still getting used to like figuring out, you know, where to put my stream overlays and mess around with that and what are the options for that. And then I just got, you know, I caught wind of like IRL streamers. So just people walking around with whatever setups, and then they were still getting all the notifications and stuff. So then it's like, well, if they can do it,
and they do it mainly off of a smartphone, right?
Yeah, most of them do. Yep. Yeah, most of them do. They there's like, you can do OBS Streamlabs. They have an app, a mobile app. OBS doesn't have an app themselves, but Streamlabs does.
For those of you guys that don't know, the guys that watch, that Matt and I both do live streams. Matt has a setup in his studio. The Detroit Tint Studio is all set up. He's been doing live streams from there. Recently had his first client, and I do live streams from the shop as well. But we do live streams wirelessly with overlays and things like that. This is like bleeding edge shit like that no one is really doing right now. And you know, in part mostly because Matt kind of figured out a lot of it. Not just
I have like a real techie background with, you know, I want to do something weird, and I'm not to the point where I'm very much into coding. I'm not really into, you know, writing my own programs or writing my own website, but I'll take things that exist and try and figure out how to get them to do the thing that I need them to do. And it always seems like whatever I need them to do is like 6 or 7 steps out of what they're designed to do. So then you're like, you got to get this thing, then you got to get this thing, and oh, this works through this system, and then it's a whole big jumbled mess, but it all kind of works. Like kind of like what I'm doing for this setup right now. So with text to speech for my headset, when I want to walk around the garage, a lot of people remember on one of my first streams here, it kept like, they kept hearing the robot voice while the alerts were going off. So I either had to mute the whole desktop audio or enable it. And so then I had to figure out how to route audio separate to my headset, and then still keep the rest of the audio on the desktop for the live stream that rebroadcast. Shit's just fucking nuts.
One thing after another after another.
Yeah.
So how are you holding up with this whole, you know, this whole situation going on across the country? Any better, any worse from last week? The same? How are you holding? What's going on?
I'd say a little bit better. Not business-wise, just like taking advantage of the time. Let's see, we actually got a job in here, which was awesome. So I had time to put together most of a website. I still have to finish that.
Is it live now or no?
Yeah, the business website is live, and it has been. I still got to do some edits to it, and I'm just kind of doing that gradually. So that's through Wix, and then like figuring out the back end of that. And then I had time to do, oh my God. There we go.
Is it screaming in yours?
I missed the name. Oh, it's so small when it pops up on the screen. I didn't read it. Is it gonna pop up on the thing? Oh, it might pop up on like the, oh, whatever. Thank you, whoever that was, for picking up a glass aid. I think that might have been my last notification that was in the queue for that. I'm getting sidetracked right now. But the let's see, with everything, got a video up. So that was cool. I have time to shoot another one tomorrow. So that's good. We just have personal stuff going on too, and just like lots of little things that are like in the works that I have in the background. I can finally put some more time into getting those all done. So I'm taking advantage of the downtime, because it was winter and I was busy setting up the garage. And then all of a sudden, you know, it was starting into tax season where it was just getting busy and I didn't have time to do much of anything else. And now it's just at almost a standstill. I have like a couple appointments here or there, But what I've built out of here in the meantime is helping to offset the slowness of that. So
Is
that's like
business slowing down at the other places? Any of the?
Oh yeah, for sure. I was what is it? Yeah, it's Tuesday today. I didn't even go in today, but they picked up a job yesterday, so I went in to go do that. Got up early, dropped off some glass 8 at some distributing, and then went out and did that job. And then right near the end of that one job, somebody hit me up on my website. They did a Tint Wiz quote, and then they immediately followed it up with the little chat bubble on the website, and then my phone started going off for that too.
That's cool.
And yeah, it was really cool too, because what actually got me that job was my Walmart video.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he's about 40 minutes away, I think, from here.
He's gonna come to you and drive to you?
Yeah, he came out here and he got dropped off.
Oh, was that the first one?
Yeah, that was a Subaru yesterday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for those of you guys who are watching in the chat, I went ahead and linked Matt's first live stream, the Subaru that he did the other day. So go ahead and check that out right there in the chat. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah. So he, let's see. Yeah, he hit me up on my website, but he came through, like, he saw my Walmart video. Then he immediately went out, got Walmart film, tried it for himself, and just decided, like, because he's messed around with vinyl and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then didn't go so well with the tint, and then he brought it to me. So just kind of went through, like, my recent stuff, saw what I was doing, reached out, and then that's how I got the job. So that was super cool.
Nice. Walmart video, like, paying back.
yeah. One interesting thing I didn't really realize was even like Chicago Auto Pro said 70% of their business, they estimate, is coming through their YouTube channel right now.
That's crazy, because you and I spoke about this years ago. They were like, like, if we have a global product, it's a different story, right? You're making hand over fist, selling LUTs for editing software, selling some sort of digital product. But like, how the hell can we build a YouTube channel and make money locally? And
I think one of the best things that you can do is local titles. And
local
that
titles?
hurts a little bit. Local titles / local whoa. Dano Reyna with a $3 super chat. Dude, thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey.
Firing them off left and right. That's awesome. Like, so they're Chicago Auto Pros. So they've dominated in their area with video. So whenever people are searching for like window tint or PPF or detailing in Chicago, it pops up a lot more. So that's what's really, really helped them. And then all of the advice that I've gotten about local marketing, the ones that really stand out is always, they say, just do whatever you can to put cities and local things in your titles and whatnot. And it makes a lot of sense, because that's what I've been doing with YouTube videos forever. I think unintentionally for a good part of it, like how to tint a door window, I was just calling it what it was.
Right.
But the more that went on, it's true. You want to be what people are typing is exactly how you stand out. You know, it's cool to have like a cool name, but people will, like, they don't find you as easily that way. So Detroit Tint Studio was a big reason behind that name, because Detroit's in the name, Tint's in the name, and then Studio because I wanted to be a little bit different, or try to differentiate this from a shop with, like, you know, live streaming and being a little different that way. So I think going that way a little bit more, I'm going to start putting like Detroit and local things like in the video description, in the titles and stuff like that. And I could even go back through my back catalog and do some of that too. I could change some of it. Does Detroit Tint Studio have a Facebook business page? It does.
Do you plan on streaming to there as well?
Yes.
Okay.
So
did I jump the gun?
I'm not sure if he shared the right thing. So one cool thing that came out of all this too is the social aspect. A lot of people will ask, how do you get reviews? How do you get people to share your stuff? Oh, and this is streaming on Detroit Tint Studio right now. Oh yeah, I should disable that one.
Oh. Perfect.
Oh, it's fine for now. It's just more about what I do. So anyways, one thing I was sure to let him know was like, hey, like, because it was only the back half of the on a Subaru. I could have got that done in an hour, but I asked him if he could drop it off for 3 hours, and I made sure he knew that I was going live with it. And he was like, that was just part of the excitement. And he was super stoked about that because he saw the videos, and now he's bringing his car, and now his car that he's really, really passionate about. He was talking about, you know, getting some visors for it, doing some other stuff to it. Like it was a super clean WRX. So Subaru people are just into their cars.
Right.
So just seeing it out there while it's getting worked on was just a cool aspect of the whole thing. And then afterwards, you know, I told him, I was like, hey, dude, thank you so much for bringing it out. This was actually the first car that I've done in first paid job that I've done in the garage. He was super stoked about that. And then I just asked him, I was like, would you mind sharing my live stream? And he's like, yeah, whatever you want me to share, just send me links and I'll share all the things. Because he was just excited about, like, it was just a super cool
experience,
customer experience, just completely different from what, you know, what's usually going on. But when you make that connection with a customer and they're just like, they find you because of the cool things that you're doing, it puts a whole different spin on their experience when they come there, because they're all in support of what you're doing. So afterwards, I had some posts on the Facebook page, put it on the Google My Business listing, and then him and what looked like, I think, a relative, they both shared the post to their people. So
nice. So now they got it circulating.
Yeah, now it's just going to start to get the page out in more of a local fashion, rather than telling everybody to come like the page from like all over the place. So
right,
it should be like a cool start to it. Let's see, one share. Yeah, I want to go through and see the analytics on it, because even the live stream on the page has reached 191 people, and that's just from
them sharing.
I haven't publicly done anything with the page. Just been doing the post, but I haven't like told anybody to come like the page or anything like that.
Right.
So yeah,
which is good. I mean, the power of, because someone mentioned that they're like, they said, so because you're starting your own business, are you gonna tell people that you like you know that you're a YouTuber or that you make videos and blah blah blah? And I'm like, I don't know, like, why would I? And they're like, well, you probably should, because it's a little bit of clout that you can use and kind of work to your advantage. And I'm like, I was kind of on the fence, but then I mean, I guess, you know, at some, you know, whether it's one person, there's someone out there that would love it, right?
I think there's probably more people than you think. And I'm not saying I'm gonna get every customer off of it, but it was like, one of the things that I was a little bit concerned about was, you know, if right now I'm still working on the website, so it's mostly pictures of the cars that I've done, not so much the space yet. Whoa, what was this? Sam, God damn, I can't read it. Somebody else picked up Glass Aid. We gotta
you gotta make that bigger
so I can read it. Yeah, well, you can see it on the thing, but it's like, it's on a low res monitor, and I'm like, what is that?
What?
But thank you for getting Glass Aid. I really appreciate that, dude. There's been so many people that have gotten Glass Aid.
I hope you got enough, because you're gonna run out again.
Yeah, oh my god, dude, that was crazy. So they sent half the order, which was 600, which is a lot. And then I, like, originally Sun Distributing was ordering half of that, but only half of the order got here. I think they had some other stuff going on, and then whatever with Corona, but they told me they were just sending half, wanted me to check it, and then they were sending the other half. But so that got here. So I had 600 rolls here, and then immediately cleared out within the next 2 days, cleared out 200 rolls. And then dropped off 300 there, so I only had like 100 left here, and then that's still selling out, and it's just like, oh god, I hope I can hold on to enough until the other rolls actually get here, and then probably within the next few weeks I'll have to put in another order. I don't know.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, it's a great problem.
Great
There's
problem
been
to
so
have.
much support behind it. It's been sweet. But with that appointment, like, and just in general, I don't know. I think it's never a bad thing to let the customers know what you're about. But with that one that came here, I was slightly concerned because, like, you know, they're coming to a house. I don't know if they realize that I'm tinting out of a garage. And I honestly think that, you know, I'm as nervous as the customers might be about coming here, just because, like, yeah, it's set up for it, but it's just, there's something different about going to somebody's house and getting a service done. It's not like, you know, it's just not familiar. So I was trying to make that as comfortable as I could. So one way I did that was like, hey, I don't know if you've seen my YouTube channel, or like, here, you can go here and you can kind of see a little bit more about what I do. Because I tint out of my house. And that's when he said, oh, I already saw the Walmart video. That's how I found you in the first place. And it was like, oh, cool.
Okay.
So there was instantly like that connection point too, where it's like, okay, sweet. Now I'm just talking to somebody that understands kind of what I'm about. So this is really cool. But yeah, I don't know. He seemed pretty psyched to come out here, and I was like, yeah, you saw on the live stream, dude. I was stoked. It was great to finally get that first card here.
Well, then too it was because you did some test streams from there, but like when you did the WRX, you had the lighting up, you had the poster up in the corner, and it was a whole different, like a reveal, you know. So definitely awesome.
Blocking it right now.
I know, yeah. Right?
Oh, that came in such a great time. That was so cool.
It looks great.
I love when they do that. They've done that a couple times with like some business cards, and like the Tint Wiz tri-edges, and you like just walk out the front door. You have no idea that it's going to be there, and then like, there's a box, and you open it up, and it's all like Tint Wiz stuff, and you're just like, oh.
they're good cool. Peoples. They're really good peoples.
Yeah, and that logo, with like the lighting and it looked fucking sweet. So
yeah, I don't know. So my prediction is that like whenever this whole thing blows over, obviously I think people are gonna like still be really weird. It's kind of like the pool just opened up, and I don't think everyone's gonna dive right in. I think everyone's gonna like dip their toe and then dip their foot and then get a leg in, you know what I mean? They're gonna go back slowly. So like, yeah, I was thinking this today. I showed up at the post office today, and they had I had DSP to send out, and I go like every morning to the post office. They had gotten clear shower curtains to drop from the top down to have like a barrier between it. But like a lot of people are doing like Publix. I don't know if you guys have Publix up there.
No, not up here. Okay. We have Meijer though.
Meijer. It's a popular grocery store chain, and they put plexiglass boards in front between the client and the, you know, so there's a lot of people doing that. I don't know how long those are going to stay up. Until those.
I was looking at Lowe's, to go in and get some stuff there. They're doing the same thing over there. They have the plexiglass boards, and then the payment machines are like awkwardly far away, so you're like, oh god, where's my payment? But yeah, everywhere, like food places, they're only doing drive-through, or delivery, or pickup is really all you can do. They can't have seating for anybody. A lot of the stores that we go to are either completely shut down or close much earlier than they normally do.
What's your thoughts? And I don't want to load the question for you. What's your thoughts in regards to window tinters right now in the current situation? Do you think people should be working? Do you think people shouldn't be working? What's your thoughts on that?
I can't make that choice for them. I mean, me personally, I'm working a little bit here and there, and I can't blame anybody that does right now. There's like, you're stuck in a rock and a hard place because you don't want to be responsible for spreading it, but on the same, you're trying to temper down the system so you're not overwhelming it. And I get that it's going to happen gradually regardless, right? or at least that's kind of the idea, because if everybody just stayed home, it's not magically going to go away. There's always going to be that one person or that one thing with it, and then it's just, as soon as everybody's back out, it's just going to start spreading again because everybody's out. So I don't know. I'm not an authority to really tell people what to do about that. I know.
Oh no, I'm not saying that what you say is like what every tinter should do. No, I'm just curious what you feel, because I've heard other tinters, you know, like people, tint shops in California that are like locked down, right?
Yeah.
Governor DeSantis, he's the governor of Florida. Like he's like, no, we're not shutting down the state. Like, yeah, all, you know.
I've actually seen a couple of those. Yeah, where everybody else is like, yeah, we're shutting down. Here in the state of Michigan, like, it was funny, after we talked last week, the governor put out a statement saying that if you don't think you're an essential business, then you're not an essential business, and you should shut down.
Shut it down.
Yeah, so I get that, but you know, you still got to pay rent, you still got to do regular stuff. I mean, the state looks like they're going to take care of people for the most part, but it's like, it's that scary part of not knowing exactly what they're going to do. And so they've been coming up with things, and it looks like they're stepping up to the plate in a bunch of different areas, and at least coming out with stuff to support people, because they really, I don't know, as far as I can tell, it seems like a lot of the politicians realize that how critical this is for all the small businesses and stuff like that.
No, people are hurting. 08 was a long time ago.
Yeah, literally, like you can tell they see a clear connection between, like, hey, you can't work for a month, and then, oh yeah, our statistics say that, you know, over 50% of people are week to week or can't put together $400 or something like that if they needed to, or something like that.
That's crazy. So
yeah, that's an insane statistic. So at least they see that type of stuff. I don't know. I think there's some things that you can do to be safe about it. You know, spreading it, there's all sorts of rumors going around here, there, and we're still not completely sure 100% to the extent of how easily it can travel from one person to the next. We kind of know more how long it'll stay on surfaces, but there's new information always coming out, and then there's a lot of misinformation too. So like, that's one reason YouTube is demonetizing people that say the C word.
Right.
But
the C word, I like that one.
Yeah,
I like that one. I know we did. We would. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
Yeah, it's just wrapping up. I don't know. I'm still tinting here and there when they have jobs, because at this point, you know, there's hardly any people even asking about it. It's so minimal that I need to pick up a little bit here and there when I can. So I got to take care of me. I got to take care of my wife. I got to do what I got to do. And I know everybody else needs to do the same too. So,
you know, I know we've, you know, I kind of feel that I am in the same boat, you know, because I know, and I mentioned it earlier during my live stream when I was doing the CLS today, and like, I know a lot of people are out of work, like bartenders, restaurant owners, restaurant servers, you know, people like that, like that would love to work but can't work and can't work. And then there are other people that are in a loophole, like window tinting is in a loophole, right? Is window tinting an essential? Probably. I mean, realistically, probably not, right? But it's still categorized as automotive repair, so it is what it is. You know, you can't. Right. You know, I didn't make the rules. I just, you know, so right. You know, and I went across this thing where it's like, if everyone stopped working completely and there's no money being generated at all, it would just further the demise of the current economics of economics right now and the economy. So I think the people that are working should work if they can work, because I mean, I don't know if, you know, I'm not an economist, I have no idea, but in my opinion, I don't know, maybe that would not have such a horrible outcome, I guess. I don't know, maybe slow it down a little bit. Maybe we're all fucked, who knows.
Right. Yeah, I'm in that position right now where it's like, you know, if we were talking privately, I'd probably say, hey, just be careful.
Right. And you have to, and there's safety concerns,
but like, yeah, speaking a lot more publicly about it, like, I don't want to necessarily be the person that's like, yeah, I don't know, things can get taken out of hand pretty quickly.
Right, of course.
So
well,
that's
I
kind of
know
where I'm at, like that.
I brick and mortar shop, there's like stay-at-home orders, and whether or not you believe it or not, or you tell people or not, people are not wanting to go out, right? People are not risking it right now. And
Yeah,
even
that's generally the thing. So like, even if you were staying open right now, it's just harder to pick up jobs anyways.
right, exactly. I do know of a couple mobile guys who I keep in contact with that are doing very well mobile.
Really?
Very well. Because
Nice.
they're spinning it in a way where it's like, I come to you, they're not, they're like, they're doing consultations via FaceTime or Facebook things, so they're never meeting or never touch base, never physically contact the client. They'll go to their houses, the garage is open for them, the keys are in the car, they're sanitizing, paperless or contactless payments, the whole nine.
Yep. You just send them a link and they pay over their phone.
Exactly.
Wave out the window and there you're on your way. Leave the car sitting there even for like a solid day, and
everything will be fine. Exactly.
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah. So
are you gonna start doing that?
So it's like the worst thing in the world, right? Because like, so I had a conversation with my bosses, right? And my bosses are not your if I was a typical tinter at a typical shop, my ass would be fucking fired. Okay. but like, so I'm very public, I'm very open, I've been there for 3 years, I'm very transparent with them. And one Saturday before all this craziness started happening, I've been revving up Sun Solutions tinting for the last 8 weeks, whatever, 10 weeks, whatever it is. And I'm public with it, and she knows, and she follows me, and she does this stuff. She's like, so I see the business is growing very rapidly, and I'm like, oh, I got a van now. I got a full supply of window films to everything. And long story short, I told her, I said, listen, I would like more money, but we don't have the cars coming in to justify me asking for a raise. And I figured if I can start doing my own thing and kind of stay there the tail end of the week, Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, give them the big money days. Because if I'm making my own money Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday or something like that, or Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I can make more money because it's all coming to me, right? I don't, so, and then this whole thing happens, and it's like, I just bought a van, I just did this, they're selling out everything, and it's like, I mean, it's the double-edged sword, because in the event that it's a real possibility that the shop slows down so much that they're running at a loss. They're not going to run at a loss for flat, but they're going to run at a loss for auto, especially with 2 tinters that are on salary, not on commission. And basically they weren't doing any advertising for the auto side. So if it happened where like they ended up closing up the shop, at least I have an opportunity that I could just go out on my own and be mobile and do something like that. But then again, then you kind of jump off. That's why I wanted to do like one day at a time, transition slowly, and not like jump completely on my own. So it's kind of like a half a sink or swim, and kind of like, so, and again, you know this, but I'm the only one that works in my house, so like I gotta be, my moves have to be very strategic, because I can't afford a loss at all, because if I lose, then it affects my kids, affects my old lady, affects everything. So
right, yeah, that's how I've always been with a lot of things, is always keep one foot in one door and one in another door, and then gradually leap into the next thing. That's it's been a trend for a long time. I never want to take, okay, we're gonna do this now. Not entirely.
Yeah, I feel like every time I like just straight leap for it, like I end up catching air and then falling hard. It's like, like I never catch the updraft and fly away. You know what I mean?
yeah, I can imagine. And like, it gives a chance, and that's kind of what I've
tint
seen.
Pro, yeah, he doesn't even know, the owners don't know how to tint cars. They just run it, baby.
Like that. It's like that's a very gradual thing to do. It's a very safe thing to do. And then they kind of build up into a physical location if they feel like taking it on. And they already have like a clientele base ready to go, where if you just jump right into the shop, it's like people don't know you're there, and that takes time to build. So that time, you know, try and keep that one thing going and then build it up over time, and keep doing the other thing if you can, and then step into that new thing.
Baby steps. Yeah. That was the whole goal. Trust me, I'd love to have a shop. I'd love to have, because I can run everything. I can run all my videos. I can do a setup like you where I have cameras everywhere while I tint. I can do live streams. Like that's very convenient. And then I can crank out cars. I can crank out content on the downtime. I can produce DSP. I can edit videos. There's like, it's not just a tint shop. I don't need an uber successful tint shop, but it's like a location where I can do all my work.
True.
But you know, I didn't get the house, and I wanted to get the house first. And the old lady brought up the point, like, why don't you start mobile first, build a base? And I'm like, okay. And then really I should have gotten like 3 boxes of film and rolled around in the Rio, not drop 28 grand on a van and get $10,000 worth of window film and go for, you know, whatever. It's like, go big or home, go big or home.
You definitely could have in the Rio, but like I get the point. You know, you want to show up more professionally, not necessarily right out of the Rio.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, you know, it's 200, 350, 700. Those are my price points. That's for sedans, more for full-size SUVs. So I'm like,
right. But that's where I think your own content can really shine. So if you put out things that are starting to get picked up by local people that are interested, they know where you're coming from already, and you don't have to explain yourself. So that I don't know how reliable that's going to be for every job, but like I'd say that would definitely help you more than it would hurt you.
Is it more do you think, I don't know, like, do you think a client would see it? Because I don't think a client would be interested in watching an hour-long video of me tinting windows, but no. I think the authority that comes with behind that says this guy releases videos and people are watching him and this is what he does, he's got to be good enough to tint on my car, or right. I should trust him enough, or he's worth this dollar amount because he's doing all this stuff, and he's got to be good, right?
And like, yeah, so I have this theory too, and people think that like, hey, if you're live streaming, you know, the customer's watching your every move, dude, they're gonna get bored.
Yeah, they're gonna
unless they're really invested. They'll watch a good part of it, or they'll watch some of it, and then they're like, okay, I get the idea. Like, I don't know how many times I've had a customer watching that, like, after 5 minutes, after they see a window get put on, they're just kind of like, they're over it. Like,
you get
cool.
On the phone.
All right, I'll try. Yeah, like, I'm fiddling on my phone. Okay. And they might see like a couple of interesting things, but most people are not sitting there like doing this, watching you closely the entire fucking time. Not right. Unless they're really paranoid about their own car. So, you know, when it comes to stuff like that, like, yeah, maybe they're not gonna watch all your content or anything like that and also be a customer. But yeah, like you said, they see you more as a passionate person that's somewhat of an authority on the subject. You care enough to grow a channel and put out good information and stuff like that. So, you know, I could only see how that would go to your benefit. So
right.
Whenever you're putting stuff out there about the subject that you're working in, then it's like, yeah, of course I want him to tint my car. He fucking made a video about it, so let's go.
And that's my plan for coming into April. Not only because there's what I think is there's two classes of people right now. There are the people that, you know, like the restaurant people, the people that lost their jobs and they're out. But there's a whole other group of people that are working from home. They're actually doing better than they did before, because now they're not spending money on lunches. They're not spending money on gas for their vehicle. Their kids' daycare is now closed, so they're not shelling out money for that. Like, these are real life situations, and they're getting money from the stimulus. So like, there are people in a different boat that are doing way better than they were before, and they have nothing but time on their hands. So that's kind of like, that's the hard angle, like the full send I'm going. You know, I have like $500 set aside for advertising for the month of April with Sun Solutions. I'm going to see what I can do with that. You know, and just trying to fill Sundays and Mondays, you know, Sunday, Monday. That's the goal. Just fill Sunday, Monday. If anything, fill Sunday first, you know, and then if I fill Sunday, then that week I'll try to fill Monday. But if I can't, then just Sunday.
Just see what you can stack.
Yeah, exactly. You know, there's going to be a surplus.
That's it. Yeah, that's what I've noticed with mobile too. Focus all your efforts on at least 1 or 2 days. Spread them apart a little bit too, if you could. So like maybe if you did like a Sunday to start, then spread it out by a couple days to like a Tuesday or Wednesday if possible. So that way you have that staggering where, you know, the people that can't be there on Sunday might be able to be there midweek or something like that.
Copy that.
That's not a bad way to go either. Yeah, because we noticed that a lot with like physical locations. It's like if you gave them a Monday and a Tuesday, they'll fill Monday or Tuesday. They won't, or they'll have a couple jobs on Monday, or they'll have a couple jobs on Tuesday. But very rarely would they keep both of them busy. But then if you stagger them out a few more days, so they have
like a Monday, Thursday,
Thursday, Monday, Friday, Tuesday, Friday, or something like that, then they're more likely to have some jobs on Tuesday and more jobs on Friday.
Gives them time to fill up stuff. And okay.
Yep,
that's interesting.
Extra,
That's interesting. I like that.
Yeah, that worked out pretty well.
You know, that would work out too, because if I worked on Sundays, I work at the shop on Mondays, but my guy Marty, the guy I work with, he's not there on Mondays. He gets Mondays off, right? So like, and I know he doesn't want to get rid of his Mondays. So he doesn't want to go back in the shop on Monday and lose his 2-day weekend.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't be bad to go like a Sunday, go back to the shop Tuesday, Monday, and then maybe go back out on my own on Tuesday or something like that, or Wednesday.
That would be better. Yeah. Yeah, actually.
That's smart.
Be better off doing that.
Smart.
But yeah, you made a good point with the whole like working from home aspect. Like, I wonder if this is going to create some sort of a business revolution where they finally realize, hey, we don't need to have people in every day and they're responsible at home, because there's a lot of people that genuinely like to keep their jobs and like to work. So,
right. Oh yeah.
And then they can condense all their work down to, like, you know, most people can do a lot of their own, like if they're doing bookkeeping or something like that. I mean, chances are they have downtime during the day that they're just kind of brushing some stuff off or not working as fast, and then they can crunch all that or do it when they, you know, hey, I got to run some errands now, and then I have time later on to get whatever I need to done. They're responsible enough to do that.
I think, yeah. I mean, I know people that would love to work from home and they never had the opportunity because companies are like, no, because they got to keep an eye on you. You got to make sure you're still working.
Yeah. But they don't need to be micromanaged that much, as long as you give them, like, a lot of people, if you give them tasks and then just say, expect their task done by this point, you know, they're going to fucking get it done.
Right. And knock it out.
They're going to be fired or whatever. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You might see a big, I don't know. You might see a big revolution with some of that working from home finally.
It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting. That's another thing. Because with Facebook marketing and target marketing, you can niche down your audience. So one of the niche downs is targeting people that work from home. Yeah. So that's interesting. Another one I saw, and I don't know if it I don't know if how niche down it'll go, because the guy said the one video I watched where that actually gave me an actual number, because I was looking to see, like, what is a good sampling, a good audience reach. Like, is 500,000 too much? Is 10,000 too much? Because 10,000 people is a lot of fucking people, right? But like, in the grand scheme of things, it might not be if you have 1 million people in your city. So the person I found said, you know, you should try to shoot for 500,000 to 1 million. But there is a subcategory called small business, and for people that are interested, it's under interests, and then businesses and industry, and then it's small business, and then you can niche that down even further to engage shoppers. So what that does is that it finds people that spend money on small businesses. So right, like
how does it know that?
It knows. Scary. It's the same reason that when you Google search something and then you find that you're getting ads on Facebook from what you just searched, like, that's the same reason.
You know, I didn't understand website analytics until I had my own website, and then, like, you've seen them on a couple of different platforms. The amount of information that they have just from somebody, like, they know how long that you're on a page, they know how long you've been viewing it, they know what you've been looking at specifically, like where your mouse has been. They can tell you so much just off of that. Then they ping your, you know, they would know where your IP is coming, so they know your general location. And like, yeah, it gets a lot more scary than that.
Oh.
And then you cross that with, you know, search, like a lot of them are tied together. So when you go to like Home Depot and then you start seeing ads on Facebook for Home Depot,
A discount here. That's it.
that shit gets scary really quick.
I had my other phone, the business phone, has the website connected to it, so through the Wix app. So I get a notification wherever anyone gets on the website, so I can in live person be like, "Hey, welcome to the website." And I was, which is creepy, right? I was at work and I looked down and it said, "Ding! Someone looking at your website from Lutz, Florida." I'm like, "Wow, there's only one person that knows that I own a website." And I'm like, and I talked to my boss. I'm like, "Hi, Michelle."
What?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't pop up like it, like, you know how that has that like that little chat bubble in the corner?
Yeah.
It turns a different color. Like,
Oh,
I thought
okay.
it would
It
like
didn't pop
open
up.
up a window and be like, "Brr," you know what I mean, and really scare people. No, they have to click on it. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Some of them do. Yeah, it depends on the site. Some of them will pop up like a welcome message, and you can set whatever the welcome message you want.
did you use Wix or Squarespace, or who did you go with?
Yeah. No, I went with Wix.
What you think? What's your thoughts?
I like it. I think it is one of the most intuitive interfaces that I've used across the board.
Nice.
They're just getting a general feel for like skipping around between web pages and stuff like that, you know, because when you're on a website, you click on a picture, you're going to then edit the picture, not go to where that picture's pointing. So once you kind of get a feel for like the tools on the side and whatnot and the layout of it, it's, yeah, I don't know. It's extremely flexible. It's really cool that you can actually take whatever you want, drag it anywhere on the page that you want, and you leave it there. And then that's where it actually is. And you can stack things on top of themselves. Because with a lot of them, like typing in Microsoft Word, I don't know if you ever like wrote a paper on Microsoft Word and then had to insert a picture, and then it just jumbles everything up and the text is all out of alignment now. You got to figure out how to maneuver everything to get it all in place.
Right.
A lot of them work that way. So like with the WordPress site, they were all like, you had to design things in columns and figure out how to arrange the columns just right and like layer things down. Wix is just like, no, put this here, put this there, put that there. Okay, cool.
Think.
Yep.
And I'll be honest with you, I got a confession to make. During my video, during the Wix video that I did, part 7 or 8 or 9 or whatever, I don't know what it was. There was an ADI option. I think it was ADI, and then there was a create your own option, right? And all the research I did, people were like, create your own. That way you can build it from the ground up. You know what you're looking for. The problem is, I'm not a graphic designer. I'm horrible at that shit. That's the reason why Carrie works on everything I do. And
they told you to literally like start with a blank page and try and do all your own elements.
Yeah, basically it was that. And I tried, and I sat for about 3 hours trying to, and it looked like a stick figure on blank paper. And I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So I actually went back and chose the ADI option. And they go through, it's very interesting. They go through, you know, what's your style? Do you like dark? Do you like light? Do you like classy? Do you like conventional? Do you like wacky? Like, they give you all kinds of options, and then it spits out like 4 or 5 options that you've chosen that fit all the questions that you answered, and then you can choose from there which one looks best for you. And that's the one I did, and then I pretty much changed. I mean, you can choose your color palettes, what colors you're using. I mean, the ADI option was actually surprisingly really effective.
Oh, that's cool. So I started looking through all the templates, and I ended up settling on something more like portfolio. Okay. Because we're in a studio, and then I wanted like the work to kind of sell itself, but I'm still going to, I don't know, I've still had to design my own pages somewhat. But yeah, I couldn't start with a blank canvas at all. It's too much. It's like, you know, when I think about a shop, there's a lot of people they'll have like a big warehouse, and then they'll just like put shelving on the sides and stuff like that, and then it's all open space, but it's like there's almost too much to work with because you don't know what to do with it. We're here, and like I have defined walls and stuff, so I can at least like put stuff on the walls, and like this is what I have to work with. And even the walls themselves, it's just like, what am I supposed to put up there? Like, what would look good? I'm not sure. And then slowly trying to figure out what looks good. Like, but if I started with some sort of a template or just looked at what other people were doing, that's the only way I can get some of this stuff. Because I can like, when you hone in on like, okay, I like the way that looks, and then just let me have my own spin on it or let me tweak it. That's what I'm better at.
I did try that method, and it was like, I look at one, I'd be like, okay, I kind of like that one. I kind of like this one. I kind of like this part of this one, but I like this one of this one yeah. better. And then like nothing was like, I never found something that like, you know what I mean, like popped at me, and that was like, that's fucking it right there. Like it was like, I guess this will do. And then I was like, I don't want to, this will do.
Yeah. There's a point I said screw it. But I was looking at the portfolio options, and I went with something a little bit more simplistic, and then just started building the pages out a little bit more. And then I don't know, it's still fun to mess around with, but yeah, I don't know, it's able to do pretty much everything that I needed it to do. The nice thing about it is that I'm not trying to turn it into like a streaming website or anything like that, and like, well, like, you know, a whole custom website. It's literally like, okay, I just need a business website now. Cool.
Oh, you know what's funny that I found there?
Templates for days for stuff like that. So
there was an option for a subscription-based website. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I'm like, mother fuck.
You can section off pages to be like locked to members. Jesus. And whatever.
Just to let you guys know, we had a hell of a time with our WordPress site for certifiedtinter.com, and we had a computer guy out of India. Like it would take like days for an update to happen. It was costing us money every time we talked to this guy. Like that was a nightmare.
Yeah, and like that's what I hate about having somebody else do your website too, is like they can do more things for you, but at the same time, when you want to make those small changes or you want to have some flexibility, like, okay, all I need to do is add a video, like you're just like, I don't know how to fucking do this. It's all just now you're learning from the ground up.
Right, you gotta learn more shit.
Yep. And there's still a problem with the site, and I can't fix it because I don't have, like, I still got to go into the back end and change something.
Look, I don't know if you can see that. You see those? There's a 3 posts.
It's a little blurry.
Sorry. Oh, I don't have auto zoom. Okay, so those are 3 individual notifications. That's from the advertising from the shop. And I had to tell my boss, I'm like, yo, we gotta talk about this shit, because I will respond, which is fine. But listen, It was like 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night. Like that's just gotta stop eventually, right? He's like, just do it between hours. And I'm like, okay.
How much was that in advertising dollars so far?
On advertising dollars so far, we have a pretty sizable budget. For 30 days we did a $750 budget. So I think it was around $25 a day.
Okay.
That's pretty sizable.
Like, how many days was that running? Like, I mean, has it been running for like a week so far?
It's been running for, I'll tell you the analytics right now. Hold on, give me 30 seconds.
Because like, I know it's gonna vary, but roughly, like, okay, I've put $100-$200 into advertising, and I've had 20, 30, 40 leads generated from that. That's what I'm really curious about. Because I have no problem with spending money on advertising if it pulls in the jobs. But I'm really curious to see like what, a well edited video about kind of what goes on, and then direct targeted marketing, what kind of effect that has in your area.
Just to let you know, I look like a fucking marketing genius, because I did this shit, and I'm like, hey, by the way, I sent a snap picture of the insights. I'm like, by the way, the Facebook group or the Facebook business page has engagements has grown over 100%, and visitations have grown to nearly 500%. And that was 3 days into the advertising. I'm like, I think this is working. What does this mean?
I can grow your traffic by 500%
right?
in 3 days.
The only caveat is to make sure that you've never had advertising ever. Don't ever spend a dime in advertising, and I can make you successful.
Yeah, that was like when I got people to share my live stream on my Facebook page, and I had like no successful posts on my Facebook page, and then all of a sudden that one thing got so many shares and views, and it was like, your views are up 8,000% on
like,
Facebook. Like, yes.
Okay, so looking over the analytics, messaging conversations started, because don't forget the call to action is the click to message, because I couldn't click to call, right? Which when some people would say is not a bad thing because it keeps you on the Facebook platform, because people, if they go away from the platform, then they feel like you'll lose people already.
Okay.
So this has been running for 7 days. We've had 8 days. We've had 27 conversations started. So 27 is a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Cost per message conversation shared, $6.44. So, but 2 days ago, I edited it so the audience size went from 37 to 250,000. So real traction has really changed over the last 3 days.
Okay.
This one video view, keep in mind, I don't, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm an influencer, right? I'm a YouTuber, if you call me whatever you want to call me, right? I release videos, right? And I try to get a shit ton of views, right? This has been running for 8 days and it's got over 6,000 views, and they don't release videos, right? Granted, I'm paying for it, right? But people are out there looking at it. Link clicks 126, comments 14. Here's the crazy thing: shares 12 shares. I've never had 12 shares on a single fucking video ever in my life, and I do this for a portion of my professional career. The power of Facebook marketing, like what people say, what Gary Vee said, is like, it's unbelievably stupid, unbelievable.
So you've done it for 8 days and you've tweaked it some during that time,
right?
You've had 27
conversations.
So what has this ad spend been so far? Like
so far right now in the last 8 days, it's been just shy $173.81.
Okay,
that's not bad. I've reached over 8,000 people, 8144. Post engagements, which maybe you can, then post engagement says right here, the number of people who saw your ad at least once. Reach is different from impressions, which may include multiple views of your ad by the same people. Okay, so 6288 in post engagements. Reach is the same thing, but multiple people might have viewed the same one. But yeah, I mean, I think it's going pretty well. It looks like
that's awesome.
I have demographics here, mostly men that are clicking on it, between 25 to 45. Is,
out of 27 people, you've spent $174. How, like, out of those people, now you got to track how many people have come in out of those 27 conversations.
Yeah, what is that? Let's go 175 divided by 27. Yeah, 644. It was what the cost breakdown was.
Yeah, 644. And then out of those people, how many people actually got window tint?
That one I don't know. That one I don't know, because that's the link that I don't have, because part of the advertising is those are just conversations. I don't know how many people just read the post and actually followed along and said, hey, there's a phone number, I'm gonna call this number right now and call right in. I have no idea, because I don't.
Because pretty much at this point, if you got one of those 27 people to come in, then you're at break even. And
at least
you got 26 more chances to try and land somebody. And if you can't land one person out of 26, then you probably have a little bit of an issue.
Got bigger problems than fucking trying to figure out how to tint. You got big problems.
So that's cool, because I want to do a video for the studio that's a little bit more artistic, and then start pushing that, much like what you did for that
story.
I don't know if I'm gonna do so much talking or whatever, but just kind of, there's like a couple I want to do. One's like, you know, a cool vibe from what happens here in the studio. Maybe I can take footage from the live stream. I'm not sure yet. I'll go through some of it. But yeah, and then push those out locally and then see what happens.
Yeah, and it's story. Tell a story. What is, you know, and there's a number of different things. You know, advertising is always doing one of two things. You're either building brand or you're building a dollar, right? You're selling a product. You can't do one of each. So sometimes you run an advertising just to build brand, just to let people know that Detroit Tint Studio is around. And then you do another video that's like, look what Detroit Tint Studio can do for you. We have this option, we have this available, blah, 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 blah. So those are two different routes. Also, one thing that was really interesting that someone mentioned through one of the videos is that this Facebook stuff, the advertising, whether you're going to Messenger, whether you're going to your phone, whether you're going to your website, you're getting the people there from Facebook to wherever your call to action is. That doesn't mean you're going to close ass right then and there. You know what I mean? It is still your job to answer the phone, speak elegantly, correctly, in the salesy way, so that you can close a deal. Same thing with messengers, you know, same thing with your website. Like, everything on my website is 100% transparent. Like, I have all my pricing right down. It explains everything that I do, how to set it up, lead generation, like the whole, not everything. So that like, you know, you have to be set up. You can't just pull an advertising campaign and that's just gonna make you money. You have to be able to answer the phone and still close the deals. And that's a big thing.
Yep. That goes to that whole impressions thing. So even when you get, you know, 500 people to look at it and you don't necessarily see a direct result from that, like a click through to an immediate sale, or, you know, depending on what you're doing, it could end up to you a number of different ways without you even realizing it. So that's why, like, if you can, you'd have to basically keep a list of those names and then go through all your invoices within the past week and see if any of them have converted into actual tint jobs and like what the price point was at that point. Then you would definitively know how much you made off of that.
Oh, and see, that's the thing. When I and this is really good because obviously this is really great for the shop I work at for now, but this is also a really great dry run for me for when I put my dollar in there for Sun Solutions. I kind of have you know, a little skin in the game already. But that's gonna be the interesting thing, is that when I do and I do this for Sun Solutions, now I have complete control of everything. When I answer the phone, I can say, how did you hear about us? You know, is it my wrap van that I've been driving around town? Did someone see a post on Facebook? Did someone see my advertising on Facebook? And then that way I can, you know, it'd be easier to quantify, you know, where my dollar is going and if it's working or not.
Yeah, and I've heard at least like a lot of companies just have general whatever advertising because it's all about getting impressions. Like the first time, the second time you might not, you know, you kind of ignore it or whatever, but then the more you see it, that's their goal, even though it might not do anything immediately for you or for them. They just, you know, it's a smart thing to do is impressions over and over and over again.
Oh, so, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
You know what I was gonna look at?
Marketing's super fun.
You know what's interesting too is that, you know, I'm not like you, right? I don't get massive amounts of videos, and the live stream thing is still like picking up momentum. Like I changed it up a little bit because you know how my live streams for them from the shop was always the same, like orange and blue, like the same picture. So now I changed it up, and I you know, I took a half a page from your book and I shrunk it down and put still from the shop so people know, but then now I'm like popping in a picture of the actual car I'm doing, so it kind of changes. Because I was doing, you know, I was looking at you, I was looking at Sean over there at Window, you know, and I was like,
everybody.
Yeah, I'm like, well, how can I make this better? How can we fix this? You know, because if not, the words are different, everything else is the same, and then I feel like people are like, oh, I saw that one. You know.
Yeah, the content is half the battle. Selling it is the other half, and that's really hard to look at YouTube that way because it's so video. Like you're on YouTube for videos, and you put so much work into making the video good, and then at the end of it, you're exhausted and you forget all about, oh shoot, I got to take a thumbnail, I got to figure out a title, and that's really the backwards way of making YouTube videos. You have to really start with a good thumbnail and title and then make your video now. And I still forget to do that. But more often than not, like you have to figure out what gets people to click on that one thing. Like, is it the car angled this way? Is it this kind of lighting? Is it me in the picture with the car? Is it facing this? Like there's a bajillion
how is the tire
things
rotated? Like that's all.
Yep. All that. And then when you figure that out for the first one, then you got to figure out how to make it different for the next one. So it's different enough that people realize that there's a difference. And then, and then still have it clickable and intriguing and whatever. Yeah.
I saw, shit, I was about to say something. I totally forgot. I hate it when I do that. Never mind. Right. Never mind. uh, damn it.
But yeah, YouTube's a funny game. I'm starting to not care as much. I'm almost making videos for like the meme of it now.
For you? Yeah.
Yeah, videos more for me, and just what I think is maybe gonna do better. Because that's the challenge with video is like there's so much work that can go into a video, and then you put it out there, and then it just like
flops.
It flops in relative terms to like whatever either your old stuff did or what you wish it would do, and you're not really sure what kind of an impact that it has. You just get some nice comments here or there, but that could have like been life changing for somebody, and you just have no idea. Where the live streams, it's like, oh, it's so much better. It's so much more interactive. We can tackle subjects, we can do different topics. And it's much more of an interactive conversation. So like, and it's convenient too. It's like convenient for me, and it's convenient for the people that are watching that want to know, hey, how do I do the thing? You're right here. Let me ask you. Can you show me, or can you at least tell me right now?
Right. Exactly. So, it's like having contact with the pro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I was trying to like overthink that. I'm like, I don't need to overthink it. Just
right. Yeah. Getting to interact with a professional that's doing a thing, whatever it is you're trying to get done. You know, because there's people like you see it all the times in the groups too. Somebody, you know, rather than clicking search or rather than going to Google and trying to find it and spending 5 minutes doing it, they just ask right at the top, like, hey, how do I do the thing? And then like just wait for the answers. That's what the
groups. That was the reason why I started the group, because I was getting bombarded by emails and questions and this, that, and the other thing, and I'm like, I don't have fucking time for this. Like, I don't. How do I do this? How do I figure this out? Let's do a group. Y'all can talk amongst yourselves. Let's figure this out. Stronger together.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, and there's just something completely different about this whole live streaming thing. It's a lot of fun.
I think it's fun. The content's easier to produce. It's a lot more interactive, so you get, you know, I'd rather have a better quality of followers and people that watch versus quantity. I'd rather have 100 people that, you know, that love it, that are engaged, that are into it, what I do, versus a million people that are like, yeah, I saw that video once. You know? Yeah,
like that Walmart video. You know, I have no idea what it actually did as far as a lot of things, but then I see a handful of comments here and there like, hey, that's what got me starting with window tint, which is really hilarious because I didn't think it'd have that kind of impact.
It's not supposed to be that kind of, but see, that's what I find out, right? Because for those of you guys that don't know, like, I'm obsessive about like YouTube shit, and like I'm more obsessive like of like smaller channels that like explode out of nowhere, and I get like so frustrated sometimes. So there's this guy that does like Harry Potter things, but a couple years back he did one video where like his videos weren't doing a lot and weren't getting a lot of traction. He's just doing what he loves, and he made one video that hit like 1 million in like a week, which is an astronomical number. And and then it just snowballs, and he did another one and did another one. I saw the Potter guy that I told you about. He's at over 250,000 subs now. Now granted, 250,000, that doesn't mean anything, blah blah blah, right? It's the same thing, like because those are
it's still good.
Yeah, those are the exceptions. I mean, those are the exceptions, not the rules, right? Like there's 70 million creators on YouTube right now.
That's taking, there's so much more accessibility with Harry Potter, and it's got such a bigger fan base than like window tinting. So that kind of stuff definitely can translate very quickly into your numbers. The more you watch different things, like it's just more topical. So when you translate that into like, okay, so what does that mean for window tinting? That's where I finally have a lot more like just I'm much happier with live streaming and seeing where that, like, it makes me feel a lot more comfortable. Like I could be doing the same thing for at least the next 5 years and be cool doing it. Where video, I was always on my toes with trying to figure out, okay, what do I need to make next? How do I need to shoot it?
What's the algorithm doing? Like I always feel like you're chasing
how is it
it.
changing? How are you feeding? And like I see it across so many different channels. You're as relevant as your last topic, and you're only really as interesting as your most recent video. After, you know, like I see it. I bring up Devin Nash a lot, but I see the clear difference with him too, or that same trend. He got very topical, very popular. People learned a whole lot about Twitch, and then people kind of like, oh, okay, I get it now. And then he starts to taper off, and then he starts to decline, and then he's in that same type of slump, trying to figure out, okay, shit, what do I got to make now that'll start getting
to
views
bring him
again?
back. Like, but you're always chasing. You're always
You're
chasing the high.
Yep.
It's like, ugh.
Yeah, it's just a numbers game until like, unless you've just been doing it for so long that you've built up some type of like a consistent show that people come back for, and it's very, I'd say, scripted in a way. You know, like I don't know if you've seen Good Mythical Morning. They're Rhett and Link on YouTube. They've been on for years. They have a pretty scripted show, and they come in, they shoot it, they have editors, they have a producer, so they pretty much just come in, do the thing, bring their own personalities to it, and then leave. But they've been doing this consistently for ever since YouTube was a thing. So unless you can figure out how to stay that type of relevant and have that type of consistency with some type of a show, it's going to be very difficult to keep trying to iterate on like creative content, or content that doesn't change a whole lot, because window tinting doesn't change much at all.
It's evergreen.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, most of it's evergreen. So you're trying to be creative with evergreen content. It's very, very difficult. So that's where you get into the memes. You got to go with like Amazon, Walmart, shit like that. Stuff that people are actually using in mass, or at least is somewhat intriguing. You know, because there's so many professional videos out there. And I thought that was the thing to do. And for a little bit, it was. But I don't think it's really the thing to do anymore. Not in, like... And I wanted that balance between trying to still teach and still like, hey, if you watch the channel, it's not all just jokes and silliness and, you know, goofing off with whatever. Like, you know, I still love that this is somewhere people can go and they can figure out how to tint, because they can go make a living for themselves now. That's really empowering. So, doing that and like just keeping that with video, like, it's just, I don't know, I can't seem to figure it out.
You know what it reminds me of is, like, because I've been trying to shoot more video, because there's other people shooting video, and I'm like, I'm still doing the live streams, but I still want to do video. And but I've been very I guess it could be interpreted a lot of how like Casey Neistat used to do his videos. He'd go in, he'd do a time lapse, he'd talk, he'd do this, he'd do a time lapse, and it changed scenes. Like, it's very simple, straightforward, straight to the point. He doesn't have like, you know, like Peter McKinnon came in with crazy B-roll sequences, and then that was really hot. Everyone wanted crazy B-roll sequences, but like Casey Neistat, just like, here's a time lapse, switch scene, you know, and let's talk about this, switch scene, but still keeping like that three-part act, you know, of storytelling, you know, a beginning, a conclusion, you know, setup, conflict, conclusion, and whatnot. And I think that's where I've been focused more with video. It's like, I'm just taking a video, I'm shooting video, I'm trying to keep it in chronological order, just put it together as much as I can. And it's more of just like getting more content out, and it is what it is, and stop being so picky about the shit.
Stop being so picky about it. Yeah. And that's tough to do. When you watch other YouTube, you just want to make yourself better. But it's definitely not the necessity.
Maybe
for YouTube.
Maybe in the future, maybe when I have you know, 100,000 subs, and maybe when I have an editor, you know what I mean, and a videographer. Like, there's some people out there right now that are crazy. They're like, you know, they have videographers and their own editors and all kinds of other stuff, and they're literally just showing up and doing their job and having some, you know, when you're like me or you, and we're a one-man show and we run everything by ourselves, and you know, we have to shoot the videos, set the lighting, set the audio, do the editing, do all the technical shit, figure out all this that you see, you know. Doesn't make
some
it
of that.
any easier.
Nope. Should hire a producer, editor, or something like
Right?
that. I don't even know where to go for that. I guess maybe Fiverr.
Fiverr, right?
I have no
But
idea.
you're gonna spend a lot of money on Fiverr.
I mean, you can. I hear periodically here and there about, you know, how we had that. Your stepdad had the programmer from India for the website, right?
Right.
Like I don't know how he found that guy.
I don't know
I have
either.
to imagine there's a marketplace of some type to go to for finding help like that. But it's actually pretty common to see people hire help out of the Philippines, India, and other countries like that. Like it's very, very common for smaller creators to do that.
I didn't know that.
The more I pay attention to, like, if you just consume a lot in the background, you just like on podcasts and stuff like that, you pick up some of those little things. They'll almost gloss over it sometimes. And it's just like, oh wait, that's how they're getting all this shit done. Oh, okay.
How much
that makes sense.
That's what we need to do. We need to get other people, like just double team an interviewer. Like, hey, we're both on. Here we go. let's talk to someone else.
But one other thing. Oh, this kind of goes back into like content creators and all that kind of shit. I love that. So Harris Heller is one of my favorite creators with some of this shit.
Right.
But if you notice his numbers, he was doing extremely well for a little while everybody was starting to learn about live streaming.
Yeah.
And then some of his more recent videos, like they're hit or miss. They're still not bad. His channel has gone up significantly. He's almost up to 200,000 right now. But his views have kind of done that same thing that most other channels have. Yeah. And it's just like, oh, no, I don't need to learn about that one thing today. I don't need to learn about that one thing right now. So in like, I was wondering where he was going to go. Because what happens with a lot of people, and that's where I'm going with like a lot of my videos, it's like you go up to a certain point. If you taper off, like where are you ultimately taking your viewership, your subscribers? Like, what are you doing with it? And I always thought it was weird, you know, because he's kind of doing the same thing. He's a streamer that's teaching people how to stream. That's literally creating your own competition, right?
Right.
But what's
kind of like what
crafty,
you did to me.
Yeah, right. But what's crafty about what the fuck he did is he was big into music, and like he started out as a music creator back in the day. And then music took a big hit and they saw all their views decline and stuff like that. And then he basically had to start from scratch. He started from scratch with the streaming / gaming channel.
Yeah.
And built that up over the period of like, I think 3 years. I think he's been doing this for at least 3 or 4 years with this channel in particular. But then he brought his music back full circle. He created a streaming list, like a whole royalty-free streaming catalog that people could just play in their streams. And then he broke down the math of what that number.
You were telling me this earlier, and I had no clue what you were talking about.
Oh my God, this is so smart. So in teaching so many people how to stream, like he has this habit of giving certain things away. Like, oh, we'll teach you how to make your own logo, and oh, we've well, maybe not logos, but like stream transitions and stuff like that.
Right.
He'll give people digital assets, like go to my Discord, it's free. We created it. We want to show you guys how to make it. And then also for those of you that don't want to make it yourself, here's where you can go download it and incorporate it in your own stream. Well, that's just money that you've put away that's not doing anything for you, really, other than making your fans happy. And that's cool. But then there's always been this problem with playing music on a live stream. So a lot of, you know, because you can go to somewhere like Epidemic Sound and pay a subscription and then play royalty-free music. But for the most part, it's not that big of a deal on Twitch. But it probably will be. It definitely is a problem on YouTube. YouTube will flag your entire video. So that's why I never play any music, because I'm always scared that even if it's something I have the rights for, there's going to be a problem with it, except for maybe the intro or something, which I could cut out if I need to. But then, so what I'm getting at is he made this entire catalog of music, like a whole playlist of 100 songs that streamers could play in the background on their live streams and not risk getting copyright strikes or
did he make
DMCA
these?
takedown.
Did he cut these himself?
He worked with the producer to make these. Yeah.
So
smart. So he's coming back from his music career. Like, he plays guitar and he's a musician. So he made these with the producer, and then they released them for free for people to use, but they released them on platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, and whatever, like Pandora and stuff like that. And they collect a little bit of money from each play. And it breaks down to, he estimates, he said he'll give the real numbers in a couple months, but it's about half a penny per play. And what that translates into, his recent numbers, he said they're still growing. He got 150,000 plays in one day.
Jesus.
And over the course of a month, is likely to be over 20 grand worth of revenue just off of free music to people.
That's a bigger revenue stream than any of his other streams, right?
He went
merchandise.
He went through all his other revenue streams in this latest video breakdown of how much do Twitch streamers make.
Yeah.
So he broke down, he gets about 400 viewers. He has 22 to 2,500 paid subs on his Twitch channel, which he said roughly translates to about 10 grand is what he makes on Twitch. Right. And then through YouTube video sponsorships, he said a normal sponsorship will be about, like, normal YouTube ad revenue will be X amount. Sponsorships will be 5 grand, but can be as much as 20 grand in a month. And then that music royalty thing just fucking like blew it all out of the water. So all this teaching people how to fucking make a live stream and like, here is free music now for you to play. Dude, it's an insanely smart move. And it's good for the whole community because they have free music now that they can just put on their live stream. They don't have to pay anything other than their own like Spotify subscription,
and they don't pay him, and he just gets a percentage of on the back end from.
Yep, because the company pays him to have music on the platform. They pay per play. So if you're a small artist and you're only getting a couple thousand plays, you're not making hardly anything. Just like small YouTubers, they put the content on the platform, and then when they get some views, they make a little bit of money. But if you can get a lot of people playing your music, then you're making really good money.
Really good
money.
That's
exactly
so
what
smart.
He's doing. Oh my God, it was like
genius.
Fucking mind-blowing shit right there.
Nestor Auto Repair says the two best Tinting persons are here. Thanks a lot. Learned a lot from you guys. Appreciate it, Nestor.
Oh, dude, thanks, man. Yeah, I really appreciate that.
It's funny that you bring up music and things like that, because Twitch, even though it's like this massive, right? It's tiny compared to YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Tiny, right?
Yeah.
I have an Epidemic Sound subscription, right? So all my music, I have music playing right now in the background. No worries, no problems, because I can't play the radio, and you need to have music or else sometimes shit's boring, right? I have a little bit of music playing in the background right now just to kind of spice it up and whatever. Yeah. I used to go to YouTube channels that were called like what was it, royalty free music and no copyright music and stuff like that. I've actually, like, in the last year, I've had 2 of my videos. Now granted, I have like almost 200 videos up, but I have 2 of my videos that were flagged because I used those videos, and those videos used music that they didn't have rights to and stuff like that. So it's like, but the weird thing is that I have an Epidemic Sound thing, right? I've never once have had a copyright strike. Not a copyright, it's not a strike, but it's just a copyright warning, and that basically whoever has the rights to the music, they get all the proceeds from the video.
Right.
I've never had a problem with Epidemic Sound, but if I play this same video on Facebook, Epidemic Sound will get clicked to it, and then Epidemic Sound will get any money on Facebook. Now granted, I don't make any money on Facebook, I don't generate it, but one day I could generate money from Facebook from monetizing videos. I don't know, but I mean, every time I do that, like, I get a message from Facebook that says, oh, there was 35 seconds of like Epidemic Sound's music, so now they own all the money that comes from this video. And I'm like,
wait, I wonder if you got to pay for like a more broad license or something like that.
I thought one license covered it all. I don't know, I have to look a little bit more into it.
Unless you have to somehow let them know that that's your account that's playing it. I'm not sure.
I don't know, I'd have to look into it a little bit more.
But yeah, I too have an Epidemic account. I haven't had any problems with my YouTube videos, thank God.
No, not YouTube's. Have you tried it on Facebook or no?
Yeah, the
restreams, right?
Wait, do I? No. I actually don't have any dedicated videos with Epidemic music on Facebook. Just the live streams, and that's that music is an older YouTube creator actually. That I bought the rights for that music to use in any videos too.
You know what I'm fixing to do?
What?
Stupid. I'm gonna get a playlist and download it on my phone, and then that way, if I'm ever shooting videos and I kind of want to throw something in the background, like I will be playing like Epidemic sound music.
Dana Reyna, thank you for the $4 super chat.
Oh, Daniel Reyna back. What's going on, baby? And this is weird. Like I went down to like, I went down and like my viewership has like doubled in like 5 minutes, and I'm like, I haven't done fucking anything different. We've been going for a little bit. We've been going for almost 2 hours now. An hour and 40.
Really? Has it been that long?
An hour and 40 already.
Oh damn.
Right?
Oh, we're probably gonna have to wrap things up soon then.
Yeah, the wifey's gonna get you.
Yeah, I gotta look at my analytics too, because I think I monetized my Tint Stuff page on Facebook. And I don't know, there were some funny guidelines for even trying to get that much, but the live streams got me there because they were very interactive. They're very interactive and shareable, and that's what really made it happen very quick, because most of the stuff that I posted on Facebook just dies very quickly.
Right? What can you look into your analytics on last week's live stream with you and me? What do you see
on YouTube?
Yeah. Are people interested? Yeah, I probably have to change this live because it looks like you're dead. I mean, granted,
I can tell you right now, it's not as interesting.
No, it's no. Well, is it because it's demonetized, and so it's not spreading out, or I don't know.
But by the general reaction from just the sheer number of eyeballs right now, even there's just a less interest in it.
It's like, are we wasting our time?
Nah. I got so much other stuff that I'm doing too. It's like, this is just fun.
Right?
No, you're going to love this.
What?
I lost 11 subs on our last live stream.
Oh, no. How do you find that way? Where do you see that?
You just go to the video and click on analytics, and it'll say views, watch time, subscribers, and it'll tell you how many people came through. Oh, it's got one of the lowest click rates.
Oh. Oh.
That makes them feel great.
That's my bad.
Oh,
and we've been going for twice as long.
David, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. That's for all the great content. Learned a lot. Dude, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You're welcome. Yeah, we're going to keep this train going.
Mr. Auto Repair super chatted $10. Not much, but you can get a cheeseburger.
But yeah, video analytics are hilarious. But so I'll say I've noticed from my own viewing habits.
Big shout out to Nesta Auto Repair for the $10 super chat.
Like,
not much, but you can get a cheeseburger. I'll get a cheeseburger, baby. Appreciate that.
So this goes for any channel that I've watched. Whenever you have a new face on the channel, in a thumbnail, in the video, or they do the video entirely, there's way less interest overall. You almost have to have a long introduction for that person. And there's like a fair amount of people that know you in the community. Like, it's a pretty small community overall.
Right.
But that it translates a lot into videos. So like, there's the live streamer that I watched, he would have on Ethan Evans, who's an Amazon VP. And that's like a really cool guy to have on your show, right? But it's just like, I don't know who he is. I don't feel like watching them talk. Is basically how I felt.
Are you you are streaming this on Facebook? I was wondering.
Yep, we're going a few different places. So it's really just about training the audience, almost in a way, to be blunt about it. There's like got to be this long introduction. And I've heard Linus Tech Tips talk about this a lot too. Now they can start having other hosts on their videos, but they don't perform as well, generally speaking. People are there for Linus. And the way that he introduces a new person into, subscriber, welcome.
New sub.
Cool. But the way they
Wait a minute, your camera angle is different than mine. The
what?
one I'm seeing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why.
You're on Facebook, you're like facing the camera. Or no? Maybe,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I have to go check it out. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the difference would be.
I figured that, like, on the YouTube, like through my YouTube subscribers and things like that, like they're not as engaging as like the Facebook groups are, like, because they're all 100% tinters. I thought, like, I was curious on like how many people would be viewing that and whatnot. So now that's interesting. I figured there'd be a little bit more, but maybe everyone just hates us. They're like, all these fucking guys, we're tired of seeing these guys.
So I'd say there's like, it's funny, there's like 3 steps. The just goofing around in the garage, that was far less audience than what I had with that car on yesterday. When I did that car live stream, we had over between both platforms, we had like 45 on Facebook and we had 90 at peak on YouTube, which was just crazy.
That's a good amount.
And there's plenty of live streams where, like, you know, I did a couple before that. We were torching the windshield and then we were learning how to shave a top edge. They just didn't do near as well. They're probably like in the lower 30s or something like that. But yeah, it's just like how some of this goes. It's like making a YouTube video, how to do this, how to do that, Walmart window tinting. Like, there's just different levels to like content, and with even in the same subject,
right?
So some things just tend to do a little bit better than others. Having a conversation, I don't know, I think you can build into it, kind of like the WAN show, if you've ever seen that on Linus Tech Tips channel.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
But they put out daily videos, and every Friday, instead of putting out a daily video, they'll do a live stream, and they've been doing this every Friday for at least the past 5-6 years, probably ever since they were a channel. They've been doing every Friday at the same rough time in the afternoon. They'll go live, and they'll have, I'm looking through their stats right now, 1.3 million, 2.6 million views, 1 million, 1 million. And on their live streams, they're usually like 400,000 views total. So like significantly less. Still good because they've been doing it for so long, but it's just like, it's just a different thing altogether.
I'm gonna replay. I had a super chat here. Let me want to replay. I don't know if you can hear it. I think you're gonna hear it now. Hold on.
Oh yeah, I can hear that one.
Nestor Auto Repair super chatted $10. Not much, but you can get a cheeseburger.
Not much, but you can get a cheeseburger. Oh, that's great.
Nestor Auto Repair, definitely appreciate it. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah, I like that now because you got to go through Stream Elements for that. Like, I thought I had to go through some crazy stuff for cheap speech to chat. No, you can change that in Stream Elements so that, like, because I wanted to do that for when I'm in the shop and someone super chats. Like, I don't know, I can't hear it. It all sounds the same to me, or it doesn't pop up at all. So that was interesting.
The restream is nice because they'll tell you it's a super chat, which is cool. But yeah, I noticed that with speech chat, it doesn't do that. It doesn't differentiate at all.
Yeah, I keep saying I'm gonna be looking into Restream, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, a lot of I got a van to worry about. I got other stuff I gotta float now for the time being, and I'm like, shit.
Yeah, it's an extra 50, but it lets me stream on up to 4 different places. So I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, if I can make 50 extra bucks. Does Facebook have a super chat?
No, and that's the thing too. Even when you're streaming on Facebook and stuff, it like you lose that super chat ability. There's actually, if you're a gaming channel, then you get those perks. Oh, we just got another one.
Uh-oh.
Waylon with the $10 super chat. Learned a lot. Dude, thank you so much.
Hey, Waylon.
I really appreciate that.
Nice.
Dude, that's awesome.
I'm trying to see if I can catch it.
Like you lose all this, like any type of support from viewers on Facebook, unless you're a gaming channel. For some reason, they separate gaming into something different.
I wonder if because I have a Stream Elements like tip link thing, right? And it's really more for like people that are watching the rebroadcast, like if they wanted to donate, which I don't think no one has ever done that, but just I wonder if you put that in the Facebook description, if people would want to still donate, because if someone goes through the tip and not through a super chat, it still pops up like on my screen like a super chat. So I'm curious, if you did that on Facebook, would you still get a return?
You probably would. I mean, if you put it right at the top in the description, the very first couple things will probably get noticed a little bit more than the rest. But what I've noticed too, the analytics on Facebook versus YouTube, the views aren't as long on Facebook versus YouTube either. I don't know. There's just a difference there, and there's a different type of audience there. But I don't know. I like streaming on both, just because it lets you kind of join the conversation rather than like being off on your own platform and telling people, hey, go from here, go there.
Right.
That only, I don't know, that there's only so many times I want to do that. I think it's actually very challenging to get anybody to go from one website to another website, or go from here to there, or interact with whatever it is that you're doing. So, whoa. Oh, that was a good sound. That was the demon Nestor auto repair, dude, with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much.
Nestor jumping back and forth.
Dude, that's crazy. I really appreciate that. Dude, there's a couple that were just, that's awesome. Yeah, it's funny too. We start talking about super chats and then some of them start coming.
Yeah, we're not trying to solicit. We're just talking here. That's what I like about doing this, because we really do have in-depth conversations about window tinting and YouTube and other shit, and it's like,
dude, we talk for hours about all the ins and outs of YouTube and stuff like that, and I would make some type of content about it, but there's already so much out there, and my audience is very much like, I think there's interest there, and platforms like this, just sitting here talking gives at least me the ability to talk about some of this a little bit, because this is the stuff that I'm always doing in the background. It's always obsessing about, you know, what can we do for the channel that's different, or interesting, or, you know, what are some different things that we can do for the live stream. You know, just like I was talking about with Harris Heller, just like a super smart play with the whole free music thing, and just other things like that. I'm always looking into stuff like that,
trying to figure out the way of the world. How would you be, let's say, so your YouTube channel is what, 57,000? 50? You're going close to 60, right?
Yeah, we're 59 something right now, but that only 59.4.
59.4. So we're about to break 60,000, which is great. I'm about to break 13,000, which is, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm just joking, but
look at my views. They're so sporadic. So like in this past video, I think this video is actually going to do better. I think it's got longer legs, but that's because of the title. Notice how it wasn't
16 million lifetime views. That's a lot of views.
Yeah, because you make those meme videos that just go crazy. That's what you got to do.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Sheer views, but there's like quality that you lose in that, and that's what I hate.
Would you make a video, since you have close to 60,000 people, right, sub to you? So and you're monetized, right? Let's just say like a trending topic that you know is going to come up. Would you do, like, let's say like the new GoPro 9 comes out? It's kind of somewhat related to you because you use GoPros, so you're kind of like, it's not too far out of the realm, but it's like, it's not window tinting, but you have the ability and know how to like do a proper unboxing or a proper product review. You know how to shoot it, you know how to do voiceovers. Like, would you go into that realm? Just not for anything, but that you know that video could potentially make massive views that could help grow the channel.
So the way that I look at it is, if I put out what everybody else is putting out, it's not going to do well. I even though it's right there at the beginning with a lot of other people, I think there's the places that most people already go to view those types of videos, and there's so many of those channels that when you're putting out a video that's on par with everybody else, and you're not already a leader in that category, it's going to flop. I think there's a clear disconnect for your audience, and I just don't think it's going to do very well. I'm just going to get buried, and what you thought it might do is not going to happen. That's my theory on that. I think with the right approach to something like that, if I wanted to make a GoPro 9 video, I would go hard into an aspect of it that everybody else is avoiding. So live streaming for the GoPro 8 is one of those. That video is up to 31,000 views, and people are asking me about OBS and GoPro, and I haven't made the follow-up yet. But I get quite a few comments on that video regularly now about, dude, when are you making the follow-up? I want to know how to do the thing.
Right. I mean, well, granted, it took me how long was the video? 5 minutes, and it took me 4 hours to do what the 5-minute video said. So yeah, to be able to create a video again for that would be like, and there's pray that it all still works.
The people that win are the people that start early and they go hard into it, and then they keep doing the thing until it becomes popular. And they were already there for so long doing the thing, and then it just became popular. And there's a little bit of luck, and there's a lot of hard work that goes into a lot of these. So the Amazon mirror video, that is up to, it's still getting a lot of views. It's up over 1,100,000 views right now.
Wow.
It's getting, how many a day is a real question. It's getting about 8,000 views a day right now still. Its watch time is literally 3 minutes and 33 seconds out of like 12 minutes. So it's not even a very watched video. It's just a very clickable video. And even that's declined some too. Oh, okay. So that's why it slowed down. Cool. That's really
Have you noticed an increase in viewerships over the last, let's say, week or two, since everyone is home?
Month. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, I knew I'd get a jump in spring, but like now that everyone's home and bored, like, are people binging?
That too, somewhat. Yeah. Overall for the channel, anytime spring hits, it's definitely busier. But so continuing that a little bit, I don't know exactly what I would do about like a GoPro 9 video, but I would try and lean hard into something that people missed or aren't talking about, but that's still very interesting, because you got to figure out how to get placed higher up in something that's searchable. Because if you're just another one of those GoPro 9 videos, then you kind of just get washed away with the crowd. But if you tackle like a different angle on it and figure out a really, really good title, then you can have a much better chance of standing out.
Yeah, but then you're either chasing or you stay, like window tinting. You stay in one lane and... Yes, sir. What are you still doing up, bud?
You're always chasing.
Hold on.
And that's what I hate about video.
What?
Try hiding in the bush. They don't find you, Mom.
They won't find me? Okay, hi. You want to say hi to everyone?
Hi.
Look over there. Look at that camera over there.
Hi.
Everybody say hi.
I'm Ethan.
Yeah, this is my son. You can talk right here.
I'm Ethan.
Hi, Ethan.
That's Uncle Matt.
Uncle Matt. I'm Ethan.
Hi. That makes you a nephew.
Uncle Mac. Uncle Mac.
Matt.
Uncle Matt.
Oh, he can't hear you. There you go.
Uncle Matt.
Hi, Ethan.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Okay.
We won't try something.
What?
We won't try something. Wait.
No. Go. Go. I love you. Goodbye. I thought you all were sleeping. I love you. I'll tuck you in later. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's fine. Kids are funny.
Right? Just like come on in.
That's funny though. I remember my parents calling other people like aunts and uncles, and then you grow up and you're like, that wasn't my uncle. Who were they?
Who was that person?
but friends are always like aunts and uncles.
Right? I only have like 4 friends, so it's like, what do you want me to do?
It's hilarious. But yeah, so like you said, you're always chasing with video and stuff like that, and that's what I don't like about video anymore. It's
It's a losing
it's really
situation.
helpful to as an educational tool, and it's good when you're trying to learn something. And like it's entertainment. Video is never going to go away. I think it's still going to be the clear leader over something like a live stream, but there's just something very different about live streaming and something a lot more secure about doing live streaming
Right?
instead of just video content, because I can run off of, like, this stream is a clear example versus my last video, right? So if I dive into just some brief revenue here, wherever that went, this tab right here. So my AutoZone video that or the follow-up on that one,
Yeah,
it's done 3.7 thousand views, and it actually looks like it's gonna climb into being something special, because of the title. I want to change the thumbnail a little bit, but I think it has the potential to actually go up more. But it's done estimated revenue $8.
nice.
That's cool.
Woo, money.
But like, woo!
You can
And
almost buy a Big Mac meal.
Yeah, and in this live stream, $46.
Right. It's like in one.
And
we've been on for
what
2
do you
hours.
think more, like, which is more impactful, which is going to help people out better? Like, then that's like the clear difference here. So it's not about having just a mass amount of viewers and trying to always chase that audience. It's like, I want to still have an impact, and I want to do what I love with video and teaching and helping people make their own income. And then you get a clear more amount of support through doing live streams and stuff. And I think a big part of that is just the way that YouTube enables you to actually make money through your live streaming and interaction versus video. Video you just put up there and it's done, right? Unless you can somehow grow a Patreon crowd or something like that. But yeah, live streaming is much better for me.
All right. Well, I mean, we have now broken the 2-hour mark. You know,
okay.
If people really didn't like us before, they're really gonna not like us now.
Oh, we still got 15 people on my side.
There you go. I got a nickel on mine. So
that's fine. A lot of people too will go back and like re-listen to things when they have time.
Bro, real story, real talk. People,
what I do all the time.
People might not be able to watch my streams, but then we'll rewatch them the next day or next morning like a podcast. And I'm like, oh, okay.
I do that all the time, especially with with live streamers that I like, because they literally produce like 4 to 6 hours worth of stuff. They'll be talking or whatever, and then I'll just have it on while I'm working. I always have something on while I'm working. So yeah,
that's what I need to start doing. I need to start being able to pick content out of the live streams that I do. You know, like take 3 minutes out of this conversation about what we talked about, what we learned, and where are the points that like I can turn it into a video.
Yeah, try and turn it into like watchable clips or something like that. The last live stream that I did, I had that in mind for some of it, but I still
like the snap shrinking.
Right yet. What?
Like the snap shrinking?
Yeah, something like that.
I actually did that today on the CLS video. I think
nice.
No, I didn't shrink the CLS video. I did it on 2 cars before that. And I was like, oh shit, this works. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I want to go into it with like a clear topic of something I want to cover about a specific car or that specific car that I'm doing a stream on, and set that second camera up ready to do a video and literally shoot a video on the fly and then take out the footage afterwards. I still have to work out a couple technical things with that, like how to separate the stream overlays and record the video separate. Not quite sure how to do that, but I'll figure it out.
Would it matter? Why don't you just you want something nicer?
I don't think it would be terrible. But it's very un-YouTubey to
On
have like
UTV?
your stream overlays going, and then when you're making cuts and stuff like that, they're gonna be changing in a little bit. It wouldn't be devastating, but
maybe turn off the overlays. Like here, hold on. Like we're talking right now, and then just turn off the overlays and be like, now we're talking to shooting a video, and then turn it right back on.
Oh, that would be good, because we're going to be going into video mode anyways. I'm going to tell them, hey, I'm going to be shooting a video or something like that for the particular spot, and then I'm going to do it, and then they can watch it happen.
Exactly. And then when you scrub through the footage, you can look for where there is no video, where there is no overlay, and then that would be a visual cue.
Yeah.
Genius.
Oh, I like that. That'll be good. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to turn off the overlays and then have it record to the computer still. Okay, cool.
Perfect.
Boom. Thank you.
Genius.
Because I mean, we could always try and polish it up later and make it less or more seamless or whatever. But that's after we kind of do some tests, like trying to make a video while I'm live streaming, which I think is like riding a unicycle while you're juggling and
Right.
window tinting at the same time, right?
Yeah,
that's
it's
like
that is pretty smart. Yeah. How many things can we do out of one thing? How hard can we squeeze this fucking lemon to make as much lemonade as possible?
Oh my god, that client. I know we got to wrap up. That client was coming in yesterday, and I'm like frantically trying to sort out the bugs with the GoPro to get it to connect to the computer because it just wasn't happening. And I'm just like, oh no.
Why?
And
what
then
was
I
going
fire
on?
up the
Why wasn't
computer,
it connecting?
and then my B camera just decided not to show up. So then I had to restart it again and then separate my audio and go through. Oh man. But we all got it. We got it there. It worked.
That's the nightmare when you hit go live and then shit starts going askew and you're like, fuck. what do I do now? Yep. I can't restart my computer. I got a live stream going.
Yep. That's the end. That's when you just got to embrace whatever chaos you have right now. It's like, all right, I guess we're rolling with this.
Right. Yep. I did get a third GoPro. I mean, not GoPro. Wow. I did get a third GoPro battery. Remember, I've been saying for weeks and weeks, probably months, close to that. Like, I need a third battery, and now I finally have a third battery. I don't have a cool charger like you do.
Get one of these.
Yeah, where the hell did you get that?
Okay, so the GoPro. Oh man, see, this is where we keep going off into tangents, right?
3 hours later,
end and then we don't. So real quick, this was like 15 to 18 bucks, I think, on Amazon, and it's way better than the GoPro one. So this holds 3 batteries,
an SD card,
and USB-C on the back, so it charges all of them at the same time. And it'll give you a little LED indication on the ones that are dead and the ones that are charged. So you know which ones are good to go. And it's also got an SD card reader in it too.
What is it reading for? What is that for?
So you can take out the card out of the GoPro, pop it in here, and just plug this into your computer and read all the footage.
I got you.
Yep.
Does it charge all 3 all at once, or does it charge one and then charge the next one and then charge the next one?
I think it tries to evenly distribute it, or it'll shut one of the. I've noticed it's shut one of them off if it wasn't powered up enough. So if I have it on my laptop charger, it'll have all of them charging at the same time because there's more power. But if I just plug it into like the 5-volt on the computer, I think it'll only light 2 of them up at a time. But yeah, this thing's been awesome, and I just go one through after the next. I actually have 4 GoPro batteries.
Well, I had 2 for the longest time, and I think I figured out that when I use the Apple charging box, it's a much faster charge and a better quality charge. Like, I was using like a Samsung knockoff plug to USB port, and I noticed that like it would barely get to 70% after like an hour, right? And I did with the same battery using the iPhone box plug, it went to 100%.
Yeah, you got 1.1 amp 5 volts on the little cell phone chargers, and then they're more like geared to be tablet chargers, the bigger ones. Like Samsung has them too. They all have them, but they're like 2 amp 5 volts, and some of them are a little bit more than that, but they'll charge things much quicker.
Is that what the superchargers are? Like the quick charge?
Yeah, they'll be like 2 amps, sometimes a little bit more than that. Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out.
Chargers.
that's another thing I'm trying to figure out in the van. I'm like, because I need to be able to run a small laptop. I need to be able to run a plotter. I need to be able to run a heatbox demo and other things. And I'm like, how many watts do I need? Do I need to run batteries so I don't kill my car? Do I just keep I got to keep the van running so I can continue to get Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? I don't know. So it's like, what do I do?
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that works when you try it.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. I actually spoke to another tint shop that does stuff like that, and they're like, and I was like, listen, but they're not primarily a tint shop. They're called Auto Styles. So they do upholstery, they do stereo installs, security, tints, everything, right? Detailing. Okay. So I told them, I said, listen, I'm a mobile tinter. I need to be able to run a laptop and a plotter and a couple other little things. You know, what's the wattage I'm looking at? How big of a wattage? If I'm at 2,000 watts, do I need to run batteries in parallel or whatever you call it? Blah 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 blah. So like going through them, it'd be like $2,000. And I'm like, damn. Yeah. And I'm like, how far do I need to go? So now I got to figure out which plotter I'm gonna get, how many watts it pulls, how many watts does the laptop pull, and then try to determine like how big of an inverter I need. Because I'm obviously, if I don't have to run batteries in parallel or anything, and I can just keep my car on, then I just don't want to have an inverter and then eventually kill my battery, and then like I'm trying to leave and I'm like, hey, give me a jump. Yeah, and you don't want to go with a stupidly cheap inverter either that would potentially ruin the plotter or something like that. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I guess I'll figure that out. Good luck. Thank you, sir. Always something. Always. Shit, I'm just gonna have to, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have a power strip and an extension cord. I'm just gonna run into the client's garage and plug that fucker in and forget the inverter altogether. There you go. Just steal somebody else's power. Right? Thank you. If you can. Just need to plug this in for a little bit. Sorry about that. Yeah, right. All right, let's close it out. I think that was good. I think 2 hours. It was a good one. It was a good one. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, we can definitely do this next week. So yeah, I mean, why not? If people are liking it, if people aren't liking it, fuck it, whatever. I gotta do update. I don't care. It's fun for me. So maybe we'll get some other people in here. How many? We have to do something on Zoom, right, to get more than 2 people in here. You have to over 45 minutes. You have to pay. No, is it expensive? Or else it's like $15 or something like that. I don't know if I have any more friends to put on here. I mean, you could always try a different service or whatever. I don't know. The only reason I tried Zoom is off of literally everyone's using it, and a lot of people are starting to use it because it's just got really good quality and it's got a lot of nifty features. So yeah, I think it was good. All right, well, it was a good one this week. Bugs for it. Yeah, it was fun. I'm gonna go ahead and do some sign-offs and stuff like that, but I will see you. I don't know. We'll talk soon. I'll probably talk to you tomorrow. All right. Good talking. In the next one. Yeah. All right. Bye. I'll see ya. Bye. All right, guys. Do I have music going? No, I don't. Anyways. All right. So that's going to close it out for this evening, guys. Really appreciate you guys joining in on us. You guys didn't hear us earlier. I forgot to put the mic on and it was muted and such. So I'm going to go over our sponsors one more time. Just big, really appreciative. Thank you very much. Without the sponsors, we can't really do anything without sponsors and such. So big shout out to Tint Wiz. Check them out, tintwiz.com. Big shout out to Dry Shrink Prep. Check them out, dryshrinkprep.com. And last but not least, Solar Effects Window Films. You can check them out at solareffectswindowfilms.com as well. Thank you everyone who donated through Super Chat. Daniel Reyna, $5 Super Chat. And Nestor Auto Repair, $10 Super Chat. Definitely appreciate the support, guys. Thank you very much. We like what we're doing, so I think we're going to continue on and do this next week as well. Just kind of talk and whatever, and kind of go from there. So definitely appreciate you guys. You guys have a great one, and we'll talk soon.